10 rules to transform your life in 2025. Imagine waking up 1 year from now in 2026, looking back at the year you just lived. Did you break free from limitations, or did you stay stuck in old patterns? Did you make the changes you always promised yourself? If you're ready to make 2025 the year of transformation, then listen closely. Because these 10 rules will help you unlock your true potential and create the life you deserve. Rule 1. Raise your standards. Your life is a direct reflection of your standards. Think about it. What you accept is what you'll get. If you expect average, you'll get average. But if you demand more from yourself, more discipline, more commitment, more growth, you'll elevate your life. Look at every great achiever. Oprah, Elon Musk, Serena Williams, none of them settled for mediocrity. They made a decision, what Tony Robbins calls raising your standards. That means setting new rules for yourself, what you will no longer tolerate, and what is now a must for you. Take Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine how devastating that must have been. Most people would have accepted that as a sign they weren't good enough. But not MJ. He raised his standard. He committed to training harder, pushing further, demanding excellence from himself. And we all know how that turned out. He became one of the greatest athletes of all time. So here's your action step. Grab a journal and write this down. What are you no longer willing to tolerate? Procrastination, negative self-talk, unhealthy habits? Define your new standard, because once you set a higher bar, you'll start to rise to meet it. Change your limiting beliefs. Most of the time, what's holding us back isn't the world, it's the beliefs we have about ourselves. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the right connections. It's too late for me. Sound familiar? These are just stories we tell ourselves over and over until they become our reality. But here's the truth. If you change your story, you change your life. Let's talk about Jim Carrey. Before he became a world-famous actor, he was broke, struggling, and doubting himself. But instead of accepting that reality, he rewrote his story. He wrote himself a $10 million check for acting services rendered and dated it 5 years into the future. Every day he looked at it, visualized it, believed it, and you know what happened? Just before the date he wrote down, he landed the role in Dumb and Dumber, earning, you guessed it, $10 million. So here's your action step. Identify one limiting belief that's holding you back. Write it down. Now, flip it into a new empowering belief. Instead of, I can't do this, say, I am capable and resourceful enough to figure it out. Repeat it to yourself daily. Because the moment you shift your mindset, you unlock new possibilities. Think about this. What would happen if you stopped believing in your limits? What if you started believing in your potential instead? Now it's time to take action. Don't just listen to this and move on. Implement it. Write down your new standards. Rewrite your limiting beliefs. Because the life you want isn't going to come from hoping. It comes from deciding. So, what will you decide today? Rule 3. Take massive action. Let's be real. How many times have you thought about making a change, but you got stuck in the planning phase? You read more books, you watched more videos, but deep down you knew the truth. You weren't actually taking action. The path to success is to take massive, determined action. That means not just dipping your toes in the water, but diving in head first. Knowledge is only potential power. Real power comes when you implement. Think about this. When a rocket launches, it burns 80% of its fuel just to lift off. That's because overcoming inertia takes a massive effort. The same goes for our lives. The hardest part isn't the journey, it's just getting started. Let me ask you this. What's one area of your life where you've been hesitating? Is it your fitness, your career, a relationship you've been avoiding? Imagine what could change if you committed to one bold step today. Maybe it's finally signing up for that gym membership, sending that email you've been putting off, or having that tough but necessary conversation. Whatever it is, take that step. No hesitation, no overthinking, just action. Because here's the truth. If you don't act now, when will you? The perfect time will never come. But the moment you take action, that's when momentum starts working in your favor. Rule 4, master your emotions. Have you ever had one of those days where everything just feels off? Maybe you woke up late, spilled your coffee, got stuck in traffic, and suddenly your whole day is ruined. It's like a domino effect, right? But here's the thing. Your emotions don't have to control you. In fact, the most successful people in the world don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They take charge of their emotions. our movement, posture, and breathing. It's why when you're feeling down, you instinctively slouch, breathe shallowly, and move slowly. But what if I told you that changing how you move could change how you feel? Think about a time you felt truly confident. How did you stand? How did you breathe? You probably stood tall, shoulders back, head high. And when you're happy, you smile, you move with energy, your body and emotions are connected. Here's a simple but powerful hack. The next time you're feeling off, do this. Stand up tall, pull your shoulders back, take a deep breath, and smile. Even if you don't feel like it, just try it. It might feel silly at first, but you'll be amazed at how quickly your mood shifts. It's not magic, it's science. Your brain takes cues from your body, and when you shift your physical state, your emotional state follows. So the next time life throws a curveball, instead of reacting with frustration or stress, pause. Change your posture, take a deep breath, move with confidence, master your emotions, and you'll master your life. So here's your challenge. Take massive action and master your emotions. Don't just listen to these words, live them. Pick one thing today, one action you've been avoiding, and go for it. And when challenges come up, remember, you're in control of how you feel. Stand tall, breathe deep, and take charge. Because success isn't about luck, it's about action. It's about mindset, and it's about you deciding that today is the day everything changes. Now go make it happen. Success leaves clues. Think about that for a moment. Instead of struggling to figure everything out on your own, trying, failing, and getting frustrated, what if you could fast track your progress? What if you could follow a blueprint from someone who's already achieved what you want? That's exactly what the most successful people do. They model success. Think about someone in your field, someone who you admire, someone who's already where you want to be. Maybe it's an entrepreneur, an artist, an athlete, or even a mentor in your personal life. What are they doing differently? How do they think? How do they handle setbacks? Success isn't random. It follows patterns. Choose one mentor or role model. They don't even have to know you exist. Read their books, watch their interviews, study their habits. If they wake up early, try it. If they prioritize learning, pick up a book. Apply what works for you. Success leaves clues. Follow them. Now, here's the thing. None of this works if your mind isn't in the right place. Your mindset is like a garden. If you don't tend to it, weeds, doubt, negativity, fear will take over. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to slip into self-doubt? How one bad moment can spiral into a bad day? That's why conditioning your mind daily is non-negotiable. A powerful routine that combines breathing exercises, gratitude, and visualization. Why? Because how you start your day dictates how you experience it. Think about it. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you grab your phone and get bombarded with emails and bad news? Or do you take control of your mind? Spend at least 10 minutes every morning feeding your mind something positive. It could be a motivational podcast, a few pages of a book, meditation, or even writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Start small, but be consistent. You wouldn't expect a plant to grow if you never watered it, right? The same goes for your mindset. So here's your challenge. Choose a role model and study their path. Then commit to conditioning your mind every day. These 2 rules alone can transform your life. Because success isn't luck, it's a pattern. And when you follow the right patterns, your success becomes inevitable. Now, take action. Your future self is waiting. They say you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a second. Who are those 5 people in your life? Do they lift you up or do they drag you down? Tony Robbins puts it perfectly. Proximity is power. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. The people you surround yourself with, your friends, your colleagues, even your family, play a huge role in your success, your mindset, and your overall happiness. So, if you want to elevate your life, start by upgrading your circle. Let's take a look at 2 legends, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. They weren't just competitors, they were also challengers to each other's greatness. Gates once said that Jobs was one of the few people who always pushed him to think differently, to innovate more aggressively. They didn't always get along, but their rivalry and mutual respect helped shape the tech world as we know it today. Now, imagine if Jobs had only surrounded himself with people who played it safe. What if Gates had only spent time with people who never challenged him? The world might never have seen the iPhone or the personal computer as we know it today. The right people push you beyond your limits. They force you to level up. Now let's bring this back to you. Think about the 5 people in your inner circle. Are they positive, driven, and inspiring? Or are they negative, complacent, and stuck in their ways? Maybe you have that one friend who always complains but never takes action, or that coworker who constantly makes excuses instead of making progress. We all know people like this. The real question is, how much are they influencing you, and is it for the better? Self-reflection. What if instead you surrounded yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who make you think bigger? Imagine having a friend who encourages you to go after your goals, a mentor who's already walked the path you want to take, or a peer who holds you accountable. How much further would you go? Here's your challenge. Take a hard, honest look at your relationships. Who energizes you? Who drains you? Be intentional about who you spend your time with. If you want to grow, seek out those who push you to be better. Join communities of like-minded people. Find mentors. Connect with those who inspire you to reach higher. Because the truth is, your future is being shaped by the company you keep. So, choose wisely. Remember, proximity is power. Upgrade your circle and you'll upgrade your life. Now, take action. Reach out to someone today who challenges and inspires you. The journey to success isn't meant to be walked alone. Surround yourself with greatness and watch how far you go. Fulfillment doesn't come from what we get, it comes from what we give. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly happy? Was it when you bought something new? Or was it when you made someone's day better? The secret to living is giving. And if you look at the happiest, most successful people in the world, they have one thing in common. They serve something greater than themselves. Think about people like Oprah Winfrey, who built an empire but never stopped giving back. Or someone closer to home, maybe that teacher who stayed after class to help you when they didn't have to. The friend who supported you when you were at your lowest. It doesn't have to be grand. Contribution isn't about money or fame. It's about impact. A simple, kind word, a helping hand, a moment of genuine care. That's what truly matters. This week, do one selfless act. Mentor someone, volunteer, or simply brighten someone's day with a small act of kindness. You never know how much of a difference it could make. Rule 10, never stop growing. Here's a truth bomb for you. If you're not growing, you're dying. Life is never static. You're either moving forward or falling behind. And the key to long-term fulfillment? Constant improvement. Think about it. When was the last time you challenged yourself? Learned something new? Pushed past your limits? Maybe you tried a new skill, read a book that changed your perspective, or stepped outside your comfort zone. Even the best in the world never stop growing. Michael Jordan, he practiced harder than anyone else even when he was at his peak. Tony Robbins, he still invests in his own growth every single year. Why? Because the moment you think you know it all, you've already lost. So what's one thing you've always wanted to learn but never got around to? A new language? A fitness goal? A skill that could change your career? The time to start is now. Commit to learning something new every single month. Start small, one book, one online course, one new challenge. Growth isn't about giant leaps. It's about small, consistent steps. This is your year. You have the power to create an extraordinary life. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is action. Don't let another year slip by. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Decide right now that 2025 is going to be different. Take these rules, apply them, and watch how your life transforms.